Chris, you all right? Chris, do you have a job? Huh? Chris, you can't go without working, so you got to get a job.
I got to deal right now.
Hey, how'd it go?
Pretty good. I just had to fill out the background papers.
Okay, but what I need to do, I'm gonna put you with a, you know, you may have to jump to a temp agency just short time if this thing don't go, because I don't want your bills to pile up on you, and then you can't pay your rent, right?
Government shutdown.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ain't that how that goes? All right. I'm just thinking about you. I'm glad to see you. Let's start up since we're nice and small. We got the Acts of Faith today. We're gonna have, I think we have a couple of guests coming. Hey, man, what's going on? We got a couple of guests coming. Esau, that's your sister, right?
Yes.
Who you said was gonna come and visit us? Huh?
I was, yeah.
So why don't you, you know, and you know, sisters, she a guest. I'm gonna let her keep her hat on, but you know, we remove hats in the meeting. But she a guest. I'm gonna give her a pass for tonight. But if you come back next week, just so you know.
Okay.
But anyway, why don't you go ahead and introduce your sister and let us know what's happening with her, and you know, help us.
All right. This is my second and a half oldest sister, Rachel. And she's been working hard in her recovery and doing really well.
Wow.
And so I wanted to help her out to, you know, kind of show her the other side, as we say, the good life. I'm popping.
Right.
So I took her to have an interview with Marvin Clark at Second Chance. She was able to get hired on and had her first day today.
Well, give Rachel a big hand. That's what we were saying about. Okay. And so, Rachel, why don't you just give us say hello to us and give us a little update on what's happening with you.
Well, my name is Rachel, and I've been dibbling and dabbling in drugs for 24 years. Finally decided, you know, enough is enough. I am a mother of 4. I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. My oldest is 30, my youngest is 23. I am a grandmother of 3 granddaughters, 1 grandson.
Sister, you looking pretty young to me. You've been talking about you've been running around for 24 years. Looking all young like
God
that.
has kept me.
Listen to her praising the Lord in here.
God has kept me. And and I just feel kind of brand new.
Wow.
And I'm enjoying it. And I also know one of your good friends. He's a friend of mine, Yvonne Nolly. Yeah, and he actually told me about you first. And then when my brother got out, and I introduced them, and they already knew each other. Yeah, so it's, you know, and God works in mysterious ways. Wow. You know, and it's all a plan. You know, and I'm beginning to see it more and more every day that it was all planned, steps that you have to go through.
Right.
At first I felt like I was a victim, but now I feel like I'm a survivor. I
just want 3 people to give Rachel some feedback. I'm gonna start with Bria over here.
Rachel, you know, I know it was hard for you when you came into to work and wasn't on the batteries that they had you doing what the men do, but it's, you know, just hang in there and it'll get easier and things will change and maybe they'll put you on the batteries or whatever, but just hang in there, don't quit, because you know you got a chance to, you want to get your car in your apartment, you got a chance, you got your money now going, and if you quit, then you at the same place you was at when you started.
That's good feedback right there. So, 2 more people who want to give her some feedback real quick.
Something she said, sister, because you know that recovery thing, I've been through it, and the years that she said, and God has kept me. But something you said that hit me, that I was like, yeah, when you said everything seems brand new. That is when you know your start is fresh. You know, and like she said, you know, now it's almost like we get in a position where we got to start completing stuff. You know, because in my addiction, I never finished nothing. You know, but the dope, I always finished that. But now, you know, that brand new, Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's natural. That's good. That's just good. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
yeah. That's good right there. Give some. One more person. Daniel, you got it.
I just want to say congratulations, that refreshed mind and body and attitude and spirit. I worked at Second Chance when I got out. It's a blessing to have someone who can go and work, and the people are kind of, like you, they're looking for that second chance. So you don't feel out of place, you know what I mean? And still got your dignity. And so I just want to congratulate you and keep on with that attitude that you have to really take you along.
Wow. That's real good feedback. Give some love for that. I don't know what it is. I'm just feeling real good tonight. Maybe it's because Mike is in the house. I don't know what it is, but Rachel, you're welcome here. Esau, I just want to give you some feedback myself, and that is that when your recovery is real, when you begin to genuinely reach back and help somebody else. So he says he doesn't light the candle for you to put it behind your back and hide it. But he lights the candle so that you put it out so somebody else can see. And that's what you're doing right here with your sister. I'm very proud of you. Get that boy some love. Then here's Mike. He's been gone a while, and he's back on his own accord. I love this. And just give us a quick little update about what's happening with you.
In Burnsville, things are going all right. Still working for anagrams. I got promoted. I'm a quality auditor, 1 of 6. So
Give something.
Just taking it easy, building up some money.
Good to see you, man. Thanks. Yeah, you look well. You know what? For the first time since we've met, I just don't detect the level of stress on you that has been your constant companion.
Yeah, so I have a renewed with faith.
Wow.
So I surrender every day.
Wow.
So I have nothing to fear.
Yeah, that boy something. Hey, you Fairboy boys gonna be all right after all. You know what I mean? Norma, can you sit right over there for me? That's Miss Norma right there. She got something for us. And then, so it's great to see you. Thanks for coming. You're always welcome. Real quick. Hey, look at Cal. Look at Cal. That's my son. Look at him. Don't he look good?
You just got to keep me in prayer because I got another surgery to go.
Oh yeah. But if you looking like that, somebody gonna pick you. You don't mess around there. And my son need a girlfriend, a nice girl too. You know, he need a nice lady. Say a nice lady.
A nice lady.
Yeah, not that other. You know.
I want the other kind.
Yeah.
You blow my mind now.
Right, well, hold on. Let's go. Let's switch over here to the acts of faith. Somebody who feel like reading real loud. Come on with it.
Can I read it?
Yes, sir.
I checked it out. It really hit on. January 15th. I must realize that my future lies chiefly in my own hands. If I can blame anyone for any condition in my life, then I, not they, are digging my grave.
Come on, brother.
My chief adversary comes to teach me a lesson. My most difficult challenge strengthens my survival skills. My greatest fears deepens my faith. My weak ability beckons me to grow. Anyone and anything can challenge me. It will not overtake me until I surrender.
Wow.
See, I get that. That's what you do.
Wow.
That's how he sounds.
Wow.
Only I can determine what I do and how I respond in a situation.
Yes, sir.
It is my responsibility to make a decision about what is important to me.
Come on, Doctor.
Choose what I want and how I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
Once I accomplish that, it is my responsibility to move forward until I get it.
Yeah.
The final word is I'm taking a stand for me.
That's funny. Isn't it funny how the action faith works? I mean, we don't plan this stuff. It just, I mean, that's just what's up. But yet, the Spirit knows what we need. And so, you know, we're just going to take a few responses to that. Rachel, one of them is going to be yours, but I don't know if you want to go first or not, but somebody else who got something. Come on, Mike.
My name is Mike, and Rachel, you're doing good. You know, you breaking free and everything else, and I can be with you because I've been getting high for like 27 years, and if I wouldn't have went to prison, I would have still been getting high. You know, my auntie turned me out smoking rocks when I was 17 just to get my pack.
Wow.
My daddy shot dope in front of my face, but I don't, you know, when I was young, but I don't blame nobody, you know what I'm saying, because, hey, at a certain age, you know what I'm saying, I know right from wrong. But the thing what I like about you and about me is, and I got this reading, only you can determine what you do and how you respond in a situation. It is your responsibility to make a decision about what is important in your life. And in the words of Mom's, Dr. Vernon, right now you taking that a positive action step towards what you want to do. And it's just going to get better.
My God. That's Michael Walker. You know that boy's been trained. You can tell him. You can tell when a boy's been trained, can't you? Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's a good word. Who else got it? Somebody else got it. Manny, what you got?
Well, I definitely do agree with this, you know. I've always said that to myself growing up is, no one knows this to be good for your own actions, you know. You are responsible for whatever happens, you know, in your life and all that stuff. So, but at the same time, with all those setbacks and all those things that happens to you, I think it's meant to shape you for where you're going. Yeah. So, I think all the things that happen in your life can only be a failure if you don't learn from it. It can either be a lesson that you can feel from it, but when you feel, as long as you're feeling forward, you know, that's what I took from that. You feel, but you feel forward.
Yeah, that's good. Give him something. Give him something. Y'all didn't clap loud enough because this is one of our young brothers. Give him a hand. Our young brothers are coming out, you know, being positive and reflecting. Don't be too busy or preoccupied in your own little thoughts that you can't acknowledge and recognize what's going on, what's taking place in this intergenerational learning lab you're sitting in. Whatever you thought it was the chicken house, but it's really deeper than that. Just so you know.
Chicken was late today.
So somebody else go on there. Go ahead.
There's quite a few things in here that I try to operate, you know, principle centered, staying focused, and my chief adversary comes to teach you a lesson. My most difficult challenge is strengthening your survival skills. Is making that choice to do something that might not be sound, but faith takes me through it. So I'm setting my goals, I'm thinking, I'm staying focused, I'm on my square. I need to have that faith that I can't see what's ahead of me, but I know I'm in the right direction. And I need to strengthen that and believe in myself a lot more. And I can't tell you how much that makes me feel confident and happy.
Wow.
And I operate that in different situations. Sometimes I need to pull that back. Everybody ain't ready for that. You know? And so, example was today at school was like breaking off into groups. This is your group for the entire semester.
Right.
And I'm looking at these kids.
Yes.
I hope y'all ready. Because I don't know if y'all know, I'm going to lead this group. I'm getting y'all all A's. Get in line. Let's do this work.
Come on.
And that's how it's going to be. Let's work together, get all this information, and just keeps the seated. No time for game playing and joking. And so that's how I want to operate in that level to get the best that's coming to me. I can't see it, but I believe it.
That's good. Give that boy some love right there. That's coming of age. You saw that was so good. That was so good. You know what? So, Ananiah, reach behind you, go to the board, and write the Johari window on the board. I just want to show you something. This is what we're talking about. While he's doing that, brother, say your name again.
My name Roland.
Yeah, Roland. Didn't what did you send you? What's his name? Who sent you? Yeah. Came to Phil. Yeah, that's right. Roland, right. It was good to see you again. You got all right?
Yeah, my second semester at Metro State.
Oh, good, bro. Give him a hand on that one. So the first window, now just then square it off so we, go fast, son. And so watch this. Okay. Trust me, I'm plagued with it. Welcome to my world. But watch this. The first. This is Johari window. Say Johari window. Johari window. It's really an old theology and an old teaching. I can't tell you who's responsible for it. We have kind of built on it in our own kind of way. But the first window is the window that says what. You tell me what it is.
What I know about me, nobody else knows.
No, that's not it. The first window is what you see about yourself. So what I see about myself.
What I see about myself.
Say it louder.
What I see about myself.
You look in the window or the mirror and you see something about yourself and you know that's you. Right? That's Dougie Fresh.
That's right.
Right? The second window is what other people see and you see it too. Hey Phil, we miss you, man. Come on in here so you can see it, man. Is she on the line?
That's all them people, that's why.
I know, man. Is there a chair, another chair that we can get for Phil? Dr. Holmes is here. Dr. Holmes with the cool leather shoes, man. Where you going with them, brother?
The ball gave me something.
Yeah.
He finally gave me something.
I know, that's right. Listen to this, the third window. Say the third window.
The third window.
Yeah. The third window is what other people see in you, Esau, but you don't see it. So, and this is a critical window. Mostly everybody will have somebody who was trying to tell them, don't do X or you're going to the penitentiary. Let's take it out.
Who got Mike?
No, he's still learning. Mike's on the learning curve. Mike's on the learning curve. You know what? Give Mike a hand. You know. And Wayne is giving him a tutorial right now. So all right. But watch this. That third window is important because for each and every one of us, somebody was trying to tell us to do something or watch out for something. Rachel. They was trying to look at the third, but right there somebody was saying, you know what, if you keep on doing that, they're going to take your kid. If you keep on doing this, you're going to the penitentiary. If you keep on doing this, you're going to be dead. And some that we know are that. That third window is critical because at that critical place, somebody, an adder most of the time, is trying to tell you something you need to know that will keep you going, stop you from going into the abyss.
Yeah.
But what I have found is that third window is also has taken time for it to get there, and our heads become so hard, Terrence. Our heads become so hard that even a good word is wasted because you are blind and deaf to the truth. Now watch this carefully. Here go the fourth window. The fourth window is what God sees. Say what God sees.
What God sees.
Say it louder than that.
What God sees.
And nobody else does.
And nobody else does.
Say it louder than that.
And nobody else does.
Now this is what's important about that. This is what's important about that. Thank you, Ananiah. What's important about that, and I'll just give you this context right here where we're all sitting in this room. Well, for you to right now be sitting in this room some things had to happen with me years ago that don't have nothing to do, it seems like, with you sitting in the room, but the truth of the matter is, they have everything to do with you sitting here. And if I hadn't done certain things a long time ago, there would be no room for us to sit in. Now, when the Creator gave me a vision to go into the prison, he didn't say, oh yeah, you guys are going to have the largest reentry group in the state, and you guys are going to, and you're going to have 2 houses or maybe 4. And you're going to be opening up and starting businesses, and you're going to be doing these other kinds of things. I didn't see that.
That's right.
I didn't see none of that. But look, had he gave me the whole plan, Rachel, I might have broken ran the other direction. I don't hear nobody in this church. That's what Jonah did, wasn't it? When he sent Jonah to go warn the people. That fool said, they deserve what you give them. I ain't telling them nothing. You don't really get what I'm saying. Jonah came in at window 3. What other people would see, but the people of Nineveh didn't see it. But Jonah, he saw it, but they didn't see it. They thought they was all right. Eric, I'm trying to help you. Watch this. Watch this. But God saw, say God. God. Yeah. God saw peace on Michael's persona. He saw prosperity in college for Esau. But I remember when I met Esau 10 years ago or 11 in prison, he didn't see that. He was just trying to keep from going to the hole. But look what was there. Look, he's speaking to you now from window 4 that was there all the time, but he didn't see it. This is you, Daniel. If you mess around here and just trust, Esau's word for himself was a word for you. Because if you trust what you're doing, if you just go ahead on and be all in on Daniel Waterhouse, if you just be all in, then what develops in window number 4 can come to you. But unless you get all in and stay with it, the window will never open up and materialize for you. We just go back to what you see. Well, that's good teaching, but y'all too used to me. Y'all too used to me. Yeah. Somebody else's church would be shouting right now. I gotta do the supernatural point in order to get. But I got a supernatural point. Give me 5 more minutes, boy. And I probably was it? But my point is just to show you this window pane that nobody ever sees. Look at my son, so sharp. Come on in here, folks, your sharp self. Oh, look at my son Richard Macklin. What that boy, look at it. Yeah. Boy, got a pretty. Hey, look at that pretty shirt. Hey, Will, how come I ain't got no pretty shirt like that one, man?
I got a couple dozen of them. I got a couple.
You got a couple? I got to pull up the rear, Manny. But I love to see pop guys dress and be shot. I love that, So watch this anyway. And as we moving on, the sister came with you?
She's on her way. She's going to be here at 6:30.
Okay, good. So watch this, though. This whole notion of this 4th pane, Terrence, this is that one that you just got to stick with the program so that the thing that's being developed on your behalf gets time to develop, and then you can walk into it. So its development and your walk meet each other at the point of opportunity. But if you sleep, if you're too hard-headed or believe that you know everything, I'm talking to everybody in here. All of us in here have suffered from that.
That's right.
Come on now. We one of the hardest headed groupies of all time. Mike, ain't that right? Give Mike a hand. Come on now. But watch this. That 4th pane that's always developing, it's developing while you're being faithful. Who said that? Mike said it. It's developing while you're being faithful. And then they meet at the vortex and then flow like a river. I'm telling you it's true because you're sitting in the vortex in the river right now.
I hear you.
You couldn't have a seat here if
Right.
what I said wasn't true.
Right.
They could have said, oh yeah, don't you know y'all gonna be doing this thing every Tuesday night? Yeah, y'all be calling me up on the phone like, Pop, man, I'm so tired. I'm like, man, shut up. I've been doing this for 13 or 14 years every Tuesday. Don't be telling me I'm the wrong one to call and say you tired. I get that you tired, but don't be telling it to me, man, because, you know, we have people, look, Eric, who look at Mike. Mike has not been here for now a year and a half. But Mike knew on Tuesday night at 5:30, they're going to be a meeting. Oh, I don't hear nobody. I'm telling you. I don't hear nobody. I don't hear nobody. Hey, I didn't send up no commercial. I didn't send up no text saying, you remember we're here. He knew it was true.
Okay.
Now that's what he knew right there to be true was my own obedience to the window number 4 that I couldn't see, but God saw it. I'll just stop right there. I'll stop right there.
That's your heart window?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Somebody, oh, this is what we got to do. Was that good? Did you get something out of that? Okay. Norma is here in the urban league. Norma, come on up, Sister Norma. Is it Patterson the last name? Miller. Watch this. But come here. You know, this is a good girl. I mean, Norma, man, is like an amazing sister. Was a professional painter. But Norma remembers that years ago, Norma and I, we sat in a group not unlike this. We sat there for years. We accomplished a lot of things. It was a mighty group. Yeah. And Norma and I was together in that. We always remained friends throughout all the many years. And so I'm just so proud to have you, here, that you know we're here. She called up today and text and said, Brother Shane, I got some information. I want to make sure Pop guys know about it. I appreciate that. That's right. I appreciate it. Give her some love. So Norma, let me just answer.
It won't take long.
Hold on one second. Michelle, we're going to have to put Michelle on speakerphone after Norma gets done. Go ahead, sis.
All right, so what's going on now is Thursday, employer of the day is PepsiCo. It's going to be coming to the Urban League, and they have all of these different jobs available. We went out last week and did a tour of the company. They are out in Burnsville, so you would need to have a driver's license or whatever, however way you would get out there. But they're looking for CDL drivers, and they're looking for loaders, people to load the trucks at night, and then the drivers will take the trucks out. This company is open 24 hours. I thought they were only open like regular business hours, but after going out there, they're open 24 hours, so it's workers for the whole 24 hours around the clock.
3 shifts.
Yeah, 3 shifts. So really more than 3 shifts, because they start, some of them start at 5, then 1, 3, 7, so it's all different shifts. And now what I do like, they have these what they call merchandise loaders, and these are people, you just, if you don't want to work at the plant, then you have a car and driver's license and insurance on your car, and you actually would go to the store and load the Pepsi on the end of the gondola. I don't know if you know what that is. So they would only expect you to just be there, and then you would just load it, and those are like part-time shifts. Plus they have full-time shifts available. So I bought these flyers for everybody to look at them. They're going to be at the Urban League on Thursday morning from 10 to 12. And whoever's interested is welcome to come. They're also going to be there, and they're going to help you fill out the application online. Okay, so I'm going to leave these. Now next month I'm going to do something at the Urban League. I'm going to have, because I'm the construction person over there, so next month I'm going to have a group of Department of Labor, MnDOT, different construction unions are going to be there, and it's going to be open to the community to ask whatever questions. I want everybody to start getting ready for when the season breaks, to come in. But I think that we don't know what it is that we need to do. We don't know how to be prepared. So I'm gonna also have the driver's diversion program there, because a lot of people don't have their driver's license, and there's a way you can get your driver's license back, and I want them to be there to tell people how they can get their driver's license back and get ready for the construction, you know, when it starts opening up. The weather's been pretty good, so that means that construction is gonna open up a little bit earlier this year than it has maybe in the past, because the ground is not really like frozen. So I'll be doing that next month, and I'll let you all know about that as soon as I set a date.
Give us some big love. Questions for Norma? Anybody?
I need my license.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, he needs a license. Help. So, you know what, sister, thank you.
Yeah, but no, every Tuesday, we do have job orientation at 10 o'clock, every Tuesday morning. So if you come there, you can get all other information. Looking for a job, he needs a driver's license. You know, we got all kind of resources there. If we can't do it, we have other agencies that we will refer you out to get the help that you need.
I have a question. Do you have a CDL training?
I don't have it, but I have the resource, yes.
Okay.
A couple of them, as a matter of fact.
And I can find you at this address
Yes,
here?
at the Urban League on Tuesdays.
And so
I'm there anyway every day.
Can we ask for you? Can guys ask for you, Norma?
Yes.
Okay, so now you got a name. That's Miss Norma right there, and Urban League is just right over here on Plymouth Avenue and Penn. Go ahead, Doug.
I was just looking at this. It says that do a background check.
Yes, they do background check.
How does that work?
Well, from what they said, they don't actually do it. There's a third party that does it.
Okay.
And when they do the background check, when it comes back, this other party, which is still a part of PepsiCo, but they actually will call you in and let you know what came back that would maybe keep you from getting a job. But they will go over that with you, and maybe it's a flaw, or maybe it's something that they can help you get rid of it or whatever. Because some people have stuff on the background and it shouldn't even be there. So they'll help you with that. You know, that's what they said. So
And just so you know, just everybody in here is gonna have the background.
yeah, but that's why I'm,
Yeah, right.
because we help people that have backgrounds. We get employers calling all the time that are looking for people, and we ask about the background and how does that go. You know, it just varies upon, you know, what kind of work it'll be. Some people don't want anybody, but the majority of the people that call us, it doesn't matter. You know, they'll do the background and then they'll just deal with you, you know, one by one. Yeah.
That's good.
I just want everybody to have a
No,
job.
that's,
I mean, it doesn't
that's
matter.
right. Yeah, you know, that's so beautiful, man. Norma, I love you, I appreciate you. You've always been a warrior, always. And here you are after all this time. Yeah, still fighting that good fight of faith. I love it, you know. And so that's some good information right there, huh? Yeah. Who in here is not working? Just raise your hand. So what you gonna do?
I'll be there.
You be there when?
Thursday.
That's right.
And don't forget about Tuesday, because Tuesday is job orientation day, morning at 10 o'clock. So come through there then. I mean, there's so many jobs out there that people don't even realize are out there.
Give Chris Berger a hand. He made the job. So Chris, you know, I love that you said that because it's aggressive, and that's what you got to be around this thing now. You got to be aggressive. The market is a seeker's market, and but you got to seek. It shall be open.
I got 2 interviews tomorrow also.
Good. Okay. Anything else from Norm? You got anything else? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Give another hand now. Yeah, I wanna. Richard has a guest that is on her way.
Yeah, she just texted and said she's on her way. I was trying to help navigate her in.
Yeah, and then also, you know, Michelle Livingston and those guys who did the research on the mental health and the healthcare stuff in prison. Remember, Pop Mom?
Yeah.
Well, I got a call from NPI, and they trying to. Hey, Sister Michelle.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, good. Pop Mom on 3123.
Pop Mom.
We doing good. We in the meeting. You been all right?
I've been hanging in there, you know, it's rough, but you know, it is what it is. But I'm strong.
Yeah, I know that, sister. Well, listen, I just want to run something by you. It sounds like we need to have an offline conversation, but I apologize for not calling you sooner. I have been thinking about you, and then sometimes my hands will get busy, and the thought will go away while I'm doing 2 or 3 things.
Hey, I know you be out there doing a thing, doing a lot, you know.
So, but that's no excuse, and I'm sorry. But in any case, I got a call today from a producer from NPR, Joe Erickson, a British woman, and so she is doing a story on mental health and the prison and what's going down with it, what is it like, right? And she got my number and gave me a call about it, and I thought, well, you know, there's a community group that has already done this research in partnership with the Minnesota State Department of Health, and that you ought to look at their research and talk to one of their lead organizers and see what they're talking about, if that can't be helpful. So I thought that I would turn you on to her.
Okay.
But now, just a little by way of background now, you know, this is kind of what you want to focus on. Here's what you found. You interviewed guys, and many of them were pop guys. How many of the guys did you interview?
With your group, I think it was 4 or 5.
Yeah, and so.
And then we did the listening session, so we got, we have some raw data from that, but we didn't include all of that raw data in the report, but we included a lot of quotations that don't have any names.
Is the report online, Michelle?
Huh?
Is that report online?
But I'm sorry, you got to speak up on the shame.
Is the research online?
The report is online at Voices for Racial Justice.
Voices for Racial Justice. Tell Wayne that for me. VoicesForRacialJustice.org.
Yes.
Oh, this is what we.
You know that that summary that I gave you.
Yes.
Okay. The link is on the back page of that summary.
Got it. Yes. That's excellent. So what I'm gonna do.
Right, and on that link is where NPR could actually find the report itself.
Absolutely.
And see if that's something that they really want to sit down and talk about.
Yes. Excellent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send her to that link. But then, if it's okay with you, I'm going to give her your number, and then you go ahead and talk to her. Her name is Joe Erickson.
Okay, she's trying to do a write-up or
no, they're going to
Minnesota Public Radio.
Yeah, they're going to
do a write-up or
they're going to do a story on NPR, and the next week is the deadline. So I'd like for you to talk to her tomorrow, if that's okay.
Yeah, tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is fine. It's midday, and hopefully we won't have something going on tonight.
Okay.
But
so let me.
But what you can do is she can go look at that link. She can go look at that link.
I got it. I got that.
And then she can go through the report, because I think she can quote from the report if she wants to too.
Right. Okay, since I got.
Talking to me, or when you guys talk.
Yeah, but I want you to talk to her, because I would like them to feature you in the story somehow. That's why I'm doing this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to let you go for now, but I'm going to get back to you with the lady's information.
Get my job, guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, so you heard what was going on there, and the lady, the producer called here, and this and that. So we're trying to put it together, but we don't need to be fronting that, because these guys from Voices did all that work, and you guys are involved, and some of you guys are around the table who did an interview with them, and so you may be featured in this story, but I'd like it to be driven by them, not by us. You know what I mean? Because we don't. We're not the expert on everything. Let let some other people, do work, do business. And so this is what we're trying to do with Pop Mom, because she was so faithful over getting that report done. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, back to what we was talking about tonight, and was the acts of faith, and we got a couple of people who just walked in. They didn't check in last week. Donald didn't check in last week. Dion is working. I want him, Dion, give us a check-in on how your job is coming. So I'm gonna go Dion, Duval didn't check in. Carol, you didn't check in. Phil, we need to hear from you. So it could be, you could relate it to the acts of faith, but it don't have to do that. So go, somebody go.
I can go. When y'all talk about the acts of faith, we talked about it like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I was in my lower self and got in a little trouble. And we talked about that hole, walking in that little hole, It was, still stick to my head though. We talking about that hole, you walking in that hole. And what street should you go, And I was like, man, what street should I go? But now I am in a blessed position, and I have to take a look at myself when I'm doing something, as far as being a businessman and all that stuff too, and holding myself accountable. And I'm dealing with attitudes, I'm dealing with all type of crazy stuff that I got to hear. So when I think about that type of stuff, about what somebody think of me,
yes.
It becomes a problem a little bit, because I'm human. You can't tell us what they said upstairs. So I'm like, hold up, I want to go there.
Right.
But I had to take a check myself.
Right.
I checked myself. I said, you don't owe nobody no explanation, Duval. You a manager, you need to stay a manager.
Right.
Are they gonna pay your rent?
Right.
We look at that. I think about that. I said, no, you know what? You're right. I was just, that's why I love my pop guys, that I can go to them and call them, hey, what do you think about this? And fuss at them. And they just sit there and look at me like, listen.
Right.
And give me good feedback.
Right.
That's what I like. And, they put me in a position, man. They say, hey, man, we need you to help these guys out to see what's going on. It ain't for you to people please these kids. You know what I'm saying? These young men. If they don't want to work, go home.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
This is my job. If you want to smoke dope and coke, whatever you want to do on the premises, it ain't got nothing to do with me, but you need to do your job. If you don't, if you act a fool,
right.
I'm sending you home.
Yeah, come on, stop right there. Now I gotta throw something in on this. This reminds me of something that Will was teasing me about, and I didn't mind that, but I wanna clarify something. This is important. See, a job only means something if you understand what it is to have one. If you don't understand that, then a job doesn't mean jack to you.
That's right.
A job is not more important than your ability to understand what it is in the first place. The truth of the matter is, if all of us understood what a job was, we wouldn't have went to the penitentiary in the first place. And so just getting you a job was never our primary function, but causing you to understand yourself and the role that you play in the larger societal ecosystem causes your job and your employment to matter. I don't hear nobody in the church. And so I put that first before a job when we were starting out years ago. Now watch this. Will tease me about it. But watch this. I'm gonna show you something else. He said to me, and he was giving me a compliment, but wait a minute. He said, well, Pop, you've evolved. That's what he said to me. Now wait a minute, I done worked for 20 years for Hennepin County and retired. So he telling me though, my thinking evolved. But I loved it, I still received it as a compliment, because what he really was saying is, we as a group have evolved. We as a body, an operational body has evolved to where we can talk about work and or entrepreneurship and you understand what we're talking about. Now that only took us about, what, 9 or 10 years. But that is what window pane number 4 is. If we just stay faithful over the first 3 window panes, then that thing that God had planned for us that none of us could see could meet us at its appointed time. I don't hear nobody. Now, and I am excited. Last year we started our first business right out of here, and the guys who are working on the pop delivers, and these guys are making hundreds of dollars a month, man, hundreds. They look buying diamond rings for their wives.
Who that?
See? You're looking at the face now. Who's the face? They stash their money for buying homes. This is a beautiful thing. It came right out of here. So it's beautiful, man. And hey, look at it.
Start our check-in.
Top guy, give him some. Look, see, now understanding, you walked in on cue.
Yeah.
Because you can remember a time, TX didn't think nothing about a job. He'd have a job for what, 3 days, 5 days, 1 paycheck, and the next you be saying, man, how's work going? He said, man, I quit that job. You know, them people was talking to me crazy. You know, this and that. But now this job right here, at Alter. I'm just letting them know I'm paying attention.
Right.
Alter. Now, something about Alter, I don't know what it is. If there's any women there, I don't know. Okay. Right. See, wait a minute. This is what Phil's saying. Don't say nothing. This is what Phil's saying. They gave you a supervisory role where you felt you belonged in the first place. They made you happy. Give him a big hand. I'm talking now, watch this. When Tony's on the dock, he said, wait a minute, this is what he said, Phil. He said, man, they gotta come and see me. TX. Right. And you know what? Y'all don't realize it. Man, I love that kind of talk. You know, because it's an evolutionary process. He has evolved to a place where now he understands work. If you keep doing what you're doing, I'm going to set you down with some people who can buy you a house. So you can come out of the place where you're at. You got to stay focused. But if you keep on doing it, you're going to be owning something, man. A piece of the rock. A real Chicago Bull.
Yeah.
I
got good news. My ethnicity amongst the job, my intuition on the job, they seen how much effort that I'm putting forth to maintain that dock. They builded me a personal office.
Oh, no. I hope they know what they're doing. I hope they know what they're doing. Hey, I may have to come out there on this one. You know, just so they know where he knows some people, you know what I mean? Because, you know, this boy started letting that thing go too far, but watch this. We're proud of that. Not just you, though. You get it? I never, hardly, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But man, we're proud of you. You're doing a good job. You're being a good father. These are the things we have to learn, right? We can't assume just because a job exists, we can't assume that you know what the heck you're supposed to do at the job or with it. That's so good.
Thank you. And you're building a whole dock just for me.
One man. Pop guy on 3, 1, 2, 3. Pop guy. All right. That's enough.
No, man, I'm going to get to bed. I'm exhausted.
Where the movies at? Set it out. Set the movies out.
I gotta go get it.
No, set the movies. See, look, man. Look, they done got him so busy.
Get a job,
He's so busy. He ain't got no man. Wait a minute, you falling down on the other job.
Read book for you. I gotta meet your kid. I'll be right back.
So look, so this thing is a beautiful thing. So I went back, just so y'all know, I went back at Amazon today because they just didn't say no more. I didn't hear no more after we went through the whole. So So I went back at him and I said, you know, hey man, we complied, we noted our time and went through your training and you know all of this and all of that. We have the resource and all this and that. You know, at least you owe us a phone call. You ain't gotta. If you don't want to work with us, that's cool. I can't make you work with me, but you can call me back.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, people. You know, I have not been the best at it in my career. It's always been my Achilles heel. Just return people's phone call in a timely way. For me, it's a hard job. Everything else about the job is easy. That part is hard. What I have to do, I'm just trying to help you understand something. So I would have to hire someone who could manage my phone calls so that it wouldn't reflect terribly on you. Yeah. And so actually, sometimes when y'all are calling me, and I love it, you should sometimes call Wayne first. You know what I mean?
Wayne's worse than you are.
Well, see, I need to know that. But you know, the truth of the matter is, in the office, if it's an office thing, if you call Wayne, he's gonna know where I'm at. He's gonna be able to text me if you got something. You got Wayne, and you got something. He's gonna be saying, "Pop, so and so and so, something's going on. Da 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 da. Call such and such." That helps me prioritize, you know, and get messages back in a more timely way.
And he was quick, Pops.
You know, but all this work stuff is a process. You have to learn all of this. Yeah, you can't assume somebody, you know, you just got out of North High, y'all automatically know all of this stuff. It's a process, right? So anyway, somebody else was next. Who was next? I called your name, so go.
I'll take it.
Then go.
I'm looking at this.
Say your name, son.
I'm Calvin. And this reading says, only you can manage what you do and how you respond in situations, right? Now, where I'm at, I'm in a rehab for trying to get myself better with my spine and stuff. But you know, there's a lot of people's going through a lot of stuff there, you know, and I look at, like you say, that window right there, window 4. God got me in a situation that He's testing me.
Wow.
You know, I quit smoking for the first of the year. You know, and then I'm still got some more tests that I go through.
Wait. You didn't get no dap on that?
Just let me show you and then you complete. But anyway, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on in there. You know, I talk to a lot of those people, and it gives me script to know that, you know, I can be able to put a smile on somebody's face.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff going on the floor I'm on. You know, they got women's there, they got men's there, but I'm not into trying to have no relationship. So now they done got mad at me because I'm trying to save myself and get my spirit together.
Wow.
They want me to go in these rooms. It's crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not going to go in no room. I'm sick. I cannot get out. You know, so now I got a little thing where they kind of gospel about me, but that's all right, because you know what? I read my word every night now. I get up and I read my word. I think my roommate might be going through a little thing where we're thinking, well, what is this guy doing all night long with the light on? But you know, this is a new thing for me, and I'm loving it because it's like that window 4. You know, I got to put my faith in my own body to where I can be able to resolve myself to be better.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, and that's why I show up at this group, because there's something going on here making me better.
Wow.
And Pop got my mind somewhere where I've never been before.
Wow.
You know, but I become a man amongst men still.
Wow.
So I'm learning that, you know, today I'm in a better state, because I would have been back to prison. Y'all know I've done 32 years running in and out. But I've been out since 2017. And I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Because I got like 6 more months on back. Well, I say like
Come on.
I appreciate y'all in this group, man.
Cal, you look, I'm in your face.
That's why I was just gonna say that.
Man, he look good.
There's something wrong with his face. He's like he's
Well,
bright.
that's that new glow for 2019.
Yes.
But you're right though. Don't mess with nobody in that.
No.
Don't go no room.
Right. Don't go no room.
No locked doors.
Yeah, you know. Wait a minute, 218, stay with that way.
I am, man. I'm
Hey, Terrence, you'll catch another case in 218, don't go in there. But man, look, you know, just stay with it. You know, get your body. You know they got the red light out of 218. Playing that Barry White music. Hold on. Don't go in there. Oh man, then we just having a laugh. You know, just having a little laugh together. Boy, I love y'all, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I swear I love me some pop guys, man. Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, so, Cal, what do you want to do with that cop?
Man,
This the short story. Tell me what you want to do.
Once I get to about 500, I'm going to have a guy to take the train.
Somebody give him 500, man, because I want that car on my driveway.
I know, I'm tired of seeing them kids on that car. This guy going to take the transmission out. Then I'm going to have to go from his shop back there.
Oh, God.
Get my transmission, then put it back in there.
Well, I swear, man.
It's not happening. Just give me a few more minutes. I didn't say no time. I said a few minutes. I got you, though. I'm going to get it together.
Hey, but I got love for you. And, you know, we're going to try to help you the best way we can. Okay? But we're going to take a quick aside because Richard has a guest that he's brought. He talked with me about this young lady here. I don't know her. We're glad to have her. And Richard, I'm going to let you kind of introduce her and tell us a little bit about her, and then Sister will go to you.
Okay, well, we'll keep it brief. And, I mean, she's kind of already serving her purpose. She wanted to come in today and see what we do. She came to Ujama Place. Shannon, you came to Ujama, okay? Mm-hmm. She came to Ujama Place through our therapist. She knew Sakarian, right? Is that how you got hooked up with? Okay.
She's like my niece.
Yes. So her niece works at my full-time job, and she saw what we did at Ujama Place, and she just really loved the mission, and she wanted to help. Mm-hmm. So she talked about a housing opportunity.
Right.
But it's over here in North Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. She owns a single-family home, but it's split up in a way where she can offer possibly one room in the future to someone in need. Mm-hmm. She's not totally sure. She doesn't know what we do here. This is her first experience with Ujama Place with Power Up People. And really it was just an invitation for her to see what goes on here and get a better idea of what happens in Pop Group and the type of guys we are. And I figured that the best way is just to sit with you, just to see us. So that's really it. She had no expectations. I don't know if I'm going to let you jump in, but I know she doesn't have a presentation or anything. She just really just wants to be here and see how we flow.
Good. Go ahead, sis.
Well, I first want to say I love the energy in the room. I posted a couple of posts on my Facebook to say, God's been clowning me. He's going to make me jump up in the sky and kiss him on his cheek because of his favor. And I was so happy to see the word God in the forced pain because and then I also put, okay, I can't jump up there, but I can blow him some kisses because he is doing some great things for me. My overall vision or just what I'm feeling inside is I'm distraught with the organized oppression with housing. And I've been talking with some other colleagues about some alternative ways to meet that need because some of the current needs and offerings, they're attached to so many strings. Absolutely. And people just need a roof over their head. They need their own space and I have a home that eventually I would like to turn into alternative housing or whatever you want to call it. Now it's owner occupied, but I'm just trying to come up with some different solutions and just different ways to help my community, to help black men. That's my passion too. I've been a special education teacher for 17 years, especially at EBD. So my passion is at-risk youth. And my first school that I taught at was at Harrison Education Center.
Level 5.
Yes.
That's the pipeline right there. They got these young brothers over there on lockdown. They can't even move from one room to the next without the permission. They have a lock in two years. It's a pretty rough camp.
I was there.
It's a rough camp. I taught a class there at Harrison for a while. I did a pop training there, and so you know it's a tough camp. So we hear you here. Give her a hand for all of that. And very briefly, POP, Power People, Personal Development Leadership Institute. That's who we are, founded by my wife and myself.
And I know your wife, and I know your book, but she knows my mom too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Who's your mom?
Minister Sarah Shannon, and then I also know Natalie.
So anyway, but let me show you. Here's one little challenge I have right now. I'm just putting it out there. Mike right here. Where's Mike right here? So Mike, he lives in one of our houses, right? We just have rooms. So no guests, nothing. Just men. Mike is a good tenant. He pays his bills on time, off parole, all that good stuff. But just in the last, I think 90 days, maybe 4 months ago, he got custody of his daughter, full custody. Yeah. So the struggle has been to assist Mike in finding housing. He's got a good rental history because he's been with me for a couple of years or something like that, or close to. But I'm having a hard time finding him a place that he can afford and raise his daughter in. So just giving you another twist on the conundrum that you just described. In some ways, Mike's not unique. He's unique in our group, but not unique in general, because men are becoming more and more involved in their children's lives and are even obtaining custody because mom is having her own issues. You get it? And so that's one of the challenges that I realize we're going to continue to have, not just with Mike, but with other returnees. Now, I would not ever place a fresh returnee with someone in a third-party facility, because unless he was a long-term student. So we train inside the prison. So some of these guys are in here, we've been knowing each other for 12, 13 years, inside and out. But Mike, though, he's a great guy, keeps his room clean, plays music a little bit too loud. Otherwise, pays rent on time, that's like cool. And we'll go in that kitchen and make it look crystal clean when you get in that mood. So that's that kind of Mike. But so put that in your thinking as well. We got a unique, I think, population emerging of ex-offenders who have either custody, either full or part-time custody, but no place to bring their children. And what we know is children of incarcerated parents become incarcerated themselves if you don't find a way to break that chain with love. And so that's something that really is a unique dynamic, I think, that's materializing. But here, what we do here is we meet every Tuesday night. I don't know how God always does something special in this group. It's just amazing. I think the walls have their own spirit in them. Whenever we come in here, we just got that thing. It just feels like home. So you feel it too?
Amen. Yes, and I have one more thing to add. I have a passion for basic math. And I was talking to Richard about, for 17 years, I've been teaching special ed, but there was an instructor who turned the light bulb on for me for math. I avoided taking a math test for my teacher's license for 7 years. And she taught me math that helped me to pass that test by the prayers of my grandma and my mama. And I desire to pass that on to other people.
Let's give her a big hand for that.
And the math that I teach is for those who need to overcome fear and anxiety to take the GED. A reintroduction, review, that's my passion.
Mike, you just here, take him and his daughter both, you know.
And so that's another collaborative thing. I would love to get your card and talk to you and just see how that would happen. But I was talking with someone at the Jordan neighborhood about having a community math class for adults. And so that's another thing that I'm passionate about.
That'd be great. Give her some love. Yeah, that's amazing. Go ahead, Joe.
I got this is the guy I got the car from. He wants to help other pop guys get cars and try to be a voice among us if he can figure out some way or to recommend people to the group or whatever types of things. So.
Oh, Cornerstone is up there, huh?
Yeah, it's off of 10 and 169.
Oh, yeah. I know people out there. Ron Jones is a salesman out there. I know him good. Eliza and Anika, y'all here? Come on in. Give Joe a hand. Joe's bringing in a resource for a car. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving. And
what you doing?
I gotta take out brother. What's the name of the corner?
Calvin.
Nick Calvin, the guy behind.
Phil, he taking you somewhere?
No, I'm straight.
You got a ride?
Yeah, next week though.
All right.
Give Joe a hand. He gotta go. Hey, tell your dad I recognize that he's not in group. I don't appreciate it.
I'll tell him that.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get out of here. So I gotta go to Walmart and pick up. The car broke down in Walmart. I gotta go and pick up Kevin and my neighbor. Kevin and my neighbor went up to Walmart and that car broke down. Solve a great call.
You got problems. Give him a hand. Give him a hand.
I wanted to say this, ma'am. I don't know. Maybe I met you before, but you just look really familiar to me. But I remember I was working on the roof of a house over here on the north side, right? And this lady wanted her tree cut in the yard, so I cut the tree down, and she made me this pound cake.
That's me.
Everywhere you go. I was in the SEC program.
Wait a minute. She didn't say nothing about the pound cake. Now we feeling those.
Already in my head. I'll bring y'all one.
Oh, wow. Give her a big hand if you mentioned it. Look, testimony. Wow, that's amazing.
It's called Slap Your Mama Pound.
Slap Your Mama and
Hey, Carol, we gonna get you some pound cake to keep you out of 218, man. Hey, watch this. Hold up, excuse me though. Eliza and Anika stopped by. It's not like he's a guest or nothing, you know, he's supposed to be here every Tuesday, but he think he's too busy. But, you know, when I used to come to see him every Thursday, I wasn't too busy. But Anika, where you at? But these guys, Anthony, come on in. But these guys have been working on trying to put something together that I just want you to be aware of, and I want them to be aware that the issue is so critical to us here as a group that I need you to organize around us so that you have the ability to use our army to express our views. I just want to say that out in the open. Having said that, I want you guys to explain to us this new task that you have been charged with and just give us a little update.
Okay. So he just restored the boat I was asking for an update.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, even on like what you were saying, there's a lot of issues around people representing or, you know, positioning themselves to represent issues that actually matter to us, that we're impacted by, our state, you know, people in this room are impacted by. And one of those is the law change to have voter restoration in Minnesota. Now, this is a very common narrative. We've kind of seen the whole pony show of what's been done and what happens, you know, in politics when they put things on their platform that says that they're going to change, you know, and have us included in the democracy, and that doesn't happen. So something that me and Eli are coming to you about is that we are planning on going about this in a different way, and in a very different way, to where we're centering the people who are actually impacted by this, and we're organizing ourselves in a way that is very unconventional to like how politics usually work. Now, of course, yes, we have to play the game and like have to utilize the system in a way to actually have the bill passed. But what we are doing is really rallying behind those who have the lived experience, because we believe there's power in that, and also has a community backing or that represents the community, because we think that's way more powerful than just having political influence or having economical or financial influence, but real truth to power. So, you know, I hope that really like sets the stage and sets the tone of like how we're going about this. Because I've been leading the coalition, the Restore the Vote coalition, for the past 12 months, and what that involved was just really reflecting with different individuals who's been at the table, who have been, you know, head of organizations and collecting checks and contracts of saying they're prioritizing Restore the Vote, but what that really actually means is they're just coming and convening and meeting about meetings, and never invited anyone in this room to the table. So,
yeah, I was the first one.
Right. Eli actually has been the first one, and he's really been a straight soldier in those meetings, because people have been very like insensitive to the fact that these are real life people who do not have a place at the table when it comes to voting, which is really it's a civil rights issue. So, I mean, even with that being groundbreaking, there's like, obviously there's room for more.
Right.
There's more ground for us to break. And we're moving in that position, because 12 years of saying that you're going to restore this and we haven't seen nothing is too long. So.
Yeah, and one of the things that Anika brought up, she was having a meeting with Senator Champion. One of the takeaways was that you know, we're going to have more of us sitting around those tables we're still going to have our coalition partners. There's about 70 coalition partners. We need them, but at the same time, like, they really do need to better center our narratives to really help to better inform how they're moving. Because right now, just the way that we've been seeing this coalition moving, it has consistently not had a winning strategy. When I first sat down the first time, an individual said, yeah, we're not going to really see it pass this year. And so that just blew me back that, you know, we began with a losing strategy end in mind. So then the question was like, why are we even meeting? Why are we even here? You know, if we're already saying we're going to just lose.
Right. And so what you guys are explaining, that this is the restoration of the voters for those who are convicted felons, and the synergy for what Florida got done is spreading around the country. Is everybody following this thinking here?
I think I read some on the news that's going to have people coming out from prison being able to vote.
Right. So one of the things. So do you have do y'all know who is the Second Chance Coalition, Minnesota Second Chance Coalition?
So it's a coalition of many people. I mean, there's the founders and there's actually the people who's on their board. The only person that we know that actually have interacted with us and also an impacted person goes by the name Randy Anderson.
That's a brother or no?
No, Caucasian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me explain that Second Chance, Minnesota Second Chance Coalition, what they're talking about on Friday, January the 18th is the Second Chance Day on the Hill. We've been over there once or twice over the years. Their agenda is three-pronged. Number one, reduce impact of fines and fees. Fines and fees. Number two, reduce length of felony probation periods. Right? Felons are not on probation, they're on parole. Or number three, restore the vote. So they have on their, at least on their agenda here, that information. So
that coalition is not the same as what we're talking
no,
about.
I know that,
Right.
but are you talking to this coalition at all?
Yes.
So Randy has been to our coalition meetings. We know far as like restore the vote, it's just narrowed down on just this bill. We are in collaboration with that coalition when it comes to action. But I think far as like, effectiveness and like understanding like certain coalitions operate in very bureaucratic ways that's not really inclusive to people who are actually impacted.
Right.
And I think that's like the beauty of like where our coalition is, like it is inclusive and it centers the voices of people who's actually impacted.
Right, and now that's good. And so, but listen, so y'all listen, following this conversation now, but yet it would be easy for this coalition or others to marginalize that coalition because what they're saying is that we got the voices of the people, but don't really nobody want to hear that. So then the strategy becomes, the organizing strategy is then how do you cause the non-hearer to hear? How do you make the non-seer see? Right? And when you do that, when you're able to do that through your organization, your strategy, then this coalition will become your coalition. I'm gonna just wait for all the amens to die down. And so for instance, if you had your own press conference with just us and nobody else, and we had a full slate of pop guys that had our own press conference with whoever else politically you could organize, and we just did that. The message from that will be so powerful. What we state is our intentions, but then these other coalitions gonna reach out to us.
Right.
Why? Because we have what they don't. That's authenticity. Somebody say authentic.
Authentic.
Somebody say the real deal.
The real deal.
Now, if you don't have the real deal that you are pontificating in, that's all right. I mean, we need, some people are better there than they are here. And we want to say, okay, that's okay. But make sure then that you're touching base with here when you go there to do better, because we want our issues represented. So what I'm trying to share with you is this is how you wrangle away the issue and put it back in your own court. I'm just throwing something out there for you to hear. It's possible for that. Good to see you, son. It's possible for that to happen. We don't need anybody else to do that. We can, Will and I, this is the coalition we were at. That was what, 4 years ago. When we were talking about it then, that was the subject. I had Will as the speaker. That was the subject of our topic, was restoring our vote. We're citizens. You're paying taxes. Representation without participation is what the war was about. So having said that, now I'm just putting some things in y'all's minds about. But you have to organize around who we are, because our strength is here. We can't really, unless it's the Big Mac, we can't pull people off the job. So we have to use weeknights and Saturdays as a way for us to gather ourselves together as a body. But it's time for us to make that statement. And there's nobody in corrections. I can pull from DOC. I can pull some DOC people who support this and who will stand with us. Right? So we don't, so the question then becomes, can we get y'all in some ways to do the fine tuning, build relationships or smash them in love for the point of accomplishing our goal. Right. I'm gonna leave it at that. But get them guys a hand because they fight this fight. You gotta go. Oh, give Miss Dawn Shannon a big hand for coming by. So think about how.
It's not gonna take that long to think.
Okay, gotcha. Somebody in here say pound cake.
Pound cake.
Just want to give you something else to think about. Anybody? Will, you got something on that?
No, I just
Anthony, come on in, man. Some chairs in here.
Just what you said is is very near and dear to us, and we've been waging this battle with that. I remember when I spoke on the Capitol Hill, actually twice with that, and so I mean, hey man,
It's coming around.
Yeah.
So you guys need to be encouraged, but don't leave us out, because this is where your strength is going to be. You get it? On this issue. You get it? We are the coalition. Yeah. So, and we can make it if it's something like that on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday at noon. We can pull all pop guys, all hands on deck. We're going to be 70, 75 strong. You get it? With all of what we need to cause somebody to say, oh, wow, they're organized. Yeah. So I'm just trying to help you though. Anyway, I'll tell you what, does anybody got an issue that's pressing that they need to get some resolution on? Oh, Dion, I want to get you in. Go on, Dion. Donald, you all right? Wait, come on in. I want you to check in, but right after Dion. Go ahead, Dion. Stand up, son. You need to stand up. That's Dion right there. Give my hand. What's going on?
I just want to let y'all know, I ain't told my PO y'all got to talk to him. I got picked up at a homicide police today. Somebody got killed in St. Paul yesterday. And I kind of got jammed up. And I don't know, they thought I was somebody. They took me down to the county jail and asked me like a million questions and stuff like that, whatever. So I ain't even told my PO. I was trying to call him and let him know.
You left a message go?
Yeah, I left a message on him to call me and stuff. And, I don't know, I stayed down there for like 2.5 hours. They asked me all these type of questions stuff. But the guy that got killed, he actually died today, this morning at Regis Hospital. So I called myself going to see my job coordinator and stuff like that or whatever. And homicide police just jumped out to call me. I was getting off the bus. They just jumped out the car on me and tackled me on the ground and stuff. Cut me up, took me to the county jail, did all that little stuff, asked me a million questions and stuff. I ain't never been questioned by no homicide detective before, so, and I'm from Chicago, so it's like, that experience, it was new to me. And I was just there crying, just like, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't really know what to say, like, I'm like, well, the person that y'all looking for is not me.
Well, what you supposed to be at work?
And I want to tell you about my job situation. Well, I don't know if I was probably real clear with y'all last week or whatever, but that job, stuff like that, whatever, was just through a temp place. And last Friday was the last day, so that's over with that situation. And then I got 6 days left in the halfway house, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Still trying to figure this out with the job, but I got a couple job interviews tomorrow and stuff through some place out here over there in Richmond.
And so did the job pay you, boy? Did you get paid? Where's your money at?
They paid me. I'm going with cigarettes and stuff. Cigarettes and I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I call myself gambling, trying to bring a little money in the halfway house. Got hit. I I feel like I can be honest with y'all about everything. It don't make sense.
That's right.
Don't make sense for me to lie about nothing. Yeah, I was gambling.
Yeah.
I was gambling. I lost my little money, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, I want doing this, I want doing that. I feel like I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm comfortable with letting y'all know what's going on with me. If I wasn't, I wouldn't say it. I'll just sit there and been sitting in the chair melting. I can't do that though. I need this to be. I need y'all to know what I'm going through because y'all my family. So I feel like I shouldn't have to hide nothing from y'all. So I got these little situations with me going on. That's basically what's really what's going on with me right now.
Yeah, give him a hand for being honest. Well, you didn't shoot nobody, right?
Huh?
You didn't shoot nobody, right? Huh? Yeah. So see, this is what I was saying back to this point where, see, right. And this is so beautiful. Oh, thank you, son. Watch this. See, when you don't have both feet out, when you're not all in, then you would trick your work money off like it was fast money. But work money and fast money is two different things. And if you take work money and trick it off like fast money, it's because really you still got your head in the street. One foot is in one, the other foot is in the other. So see, with one foot you earn that money, that's the foot that was in, and with the other foot, what was still in the street thinking you're gonna hit a lick, see, look at his face, this is love, see what it looked like when you try to hit that lick? Terrence, you see? That's how it looks. You can't. Right? The double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Even though I say that, I appreciate him coming anyway.
Amen.
And just being a soldier, he knew he was going to have to take some licks. But they love licks, right? And this and that. So I want to take two people who have feedback for Dion, and then I'm gonna go to Donald. We're not gonna be able to resolve his issue in one time. But I'm glad he responded. My question was, who in here is dealing with something? And he stood up and told the truth about it.
Amen.
Two people that got feedback for Dion. I'm gonna start with you, Lolita.
Well, let me tell you about Lolita first. Well, I had this thing going on, like when I would sit down, I would go to sleep. And some people might have thought I was high, What you had? See, I ain't had nothing. But when I sit down, I couldn't help it. I kept going to sleep. I kept going to sleep. So I didn't have no insurance for 2 years, so I couldn't go to the doctor to see what it was. And then previously I had went to the doctor and told him, but you know how sometimes you go to the doctor and you go to different ethnicities doctor and they just say, oh yeah, you just pass it off. But you as a person know your body, and you have to really take heed and say, for real, something is going on in my body. Something is wrong. So finally, I got a call today, and they said, this is the third time it's happened. I've had to have blood transfusions. So now they want me to come back into the oncology clinic to get blood transfusion and iron transfusion. So you got to be very careful how you judge people. That's what it's just to tell y'all. You got to be very careful how you judge people. So it's something going on in my body that is making me look. I can sit here and boom, I've been going to sleep.
Right.
But it's something going on.
Called narcolepsy?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's a form of it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what she's talking.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, that was just to say, be careful how you judge a person. Not just me, anyone, because it might be something medical. And Mr. Harris, I took a liking to Mr. Harris.
Right.
Instantly, because see, when he first came in, I saw Mr. Harris. He was cross-eyed.
And I said, come here, son, let me talk to you. And I said a couple little things to him. And when he's come back, I said, ooh, Mr. Harris, you looking good. I see you. You got your mind right. Ooh, and call me anytime. I'm up at night. I tell that to everybody. If y'all need somebody to talk to, you know, sometimes I'm a night owl, so I'm up. You need somebody to talk to. Shane sleep.
Yeah.
He sleep, but I'm up. So you can holler at me. And I talked to Mr. Harris, and I'm so proud of you. I want you to know that. You know, I'm the mother of, I'm the queen of the, we have a mother.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Harris, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud at how you're moving forward. You're taking accountability for yourself and for your actions. Because look, the song said, we fall down, but we get back up.
That's right.
There's a whole lot of falling down.
That's right.
Nobody's perfect. Keep on coming, son.
Wow. Give us something. Somebody else.
I got something for you, Mr. Harris. I know it's hard, you know what I'm saying, especially when they grab you and you don't know what's going on. But don't let them trick you up, brother. Don't change your statement. Whatever you said got you back out. Keep saying what you're saying. Don't change it. Because if you change it, then they give them a chance to try to say that they can get you for a homicide. So whatever you did today, keep that in mind, bro.
That's good.
It worked because they let him go.
That's why you out. So don't change no story if they pick you up.
Stand with you.
Homicide
And Dion, you said 8 years inside?
I mean, yes, I just did straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 years straight.
And when I did 12 years straight, I didn't make a decision to do anything. I went in at 17.
Right.
I didn't make a decision to do anything till I was 21. Why? My mind wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's good.
I was on survival protection. I'm 17 years old with nothing but men around here. I don't know what. I need to protect myself at all times.
Yes, sir.
I had to work out of that. Once I started to work out of that, about 21 years old, I had 8 years left to do.
Right.
I had to focus on something. And I searched. What am I good at? What do I like to do? Creative. I like to write. I focus on that. And I build around that. And I absorb what I can. And I listen. And I grow. And I add. And I grow. And I get stronger in knowledge versus then physical protection. If I choose to live how I lived in prison, I can't live out in society.
Right.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
It's gonna work.
That's good. Right.
Yes, I am a suspect. Yes, I am likable to commit a crime because I'm living in a prison environment in the streets. So I chose not to finish my 8 years in prison. I chose to finish my 8 years in creative writing, freedom of mind, pop classes, church, building relationships. When I got out, I was prepared to do those things continually. Not the criminal thinking, because I already started to work away from that. And for success to come, it's got to be laid down. And you, at some point, need to decide in your heart to say, I need to lay down my foundation right now and not look back.
That's right. And
Wow.
Yeah, I want to say something to you too, Deon.
Wow. Hold up, Donald. You coming, man? But wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody say Pop Guard 3, 1, 2, 3.
Pop Guard. That was important.
Hey, man. That's the new and improved. Go ahead, Donald.
Yeah, man, that was really profound right there. My son's in Oak Park.
Oh, man.
And he's got like 5 years to do. He done did about 3. They made a mistake with his sentence, so they're gonna take him back and resentence him next month. So we're hoping to get him some time out and get him out. But what you just said is what I tell my son. You have to be free in the penitentiary before you get out to the streets.
Yes, sir.
And you have to free your mind, do something different than you've ever done before, right? Because he goes to the hole, he does a little argument type stuff. He doesn't solve conflict in a peaceful way. So I tell him all the time when I talk to him, every single phone call, what are you doing different? You know? So Pop, I'm doing this. No. What are you doing different? Right? Because in order to make it out here, you have to do something different.
Wow.
And you got to start in that cell. Free your mind, you know what I mean, before you get here, and then do something different.
Wow.
Learn how to go upstairs in the street. They pay you $0.25 an hour, but it's not the quarter that you're going up there getting.
That's right.
So you got to just
Yes, good.
consistency.
Yes, sir.
And this is what I tell my son, right? This is what I tell my son. I want to make it. If you don't do these things the way they're set out in a timely manner, the way he was called to do them, you're not going to make it. Look at your pop. He failed 3 times. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on. You know it. I'm not making nothing up to you. You've seen it. You're witnessing it, right? So what you just said is what I tell my son on a regular basis. And I also tell guys this. If you want to be successful, you know, hang around winners. If you're having problems, call me. My number, you can have my phone number. Call me day or night. You know, I'm a light sleeper. I don't sleep that well. Call me, I'll get up and I will talk to you. Especially you, Dion, because you need us. You need me. Everything that you do, everything that you go through is because of a lack of mentorship. See, for me, I was in my 50s before I knew I need somebody to help me to the light. You were still in darkness. You know, Shane called it half in, half out. I call it in darkness because you can't see your way. You're doing this shit. You know, like a blind person, right? Fumbling along, making these mistakes because you can't see. You know, you want to see, you want to be sure, but you can't see. But the thing is, you can't do it yourself. You know what I mean? The more you battle that, the more you think that you're doing that yourself, the more problems you're going to have. I experienced it firsthand. You know, and it's no shame to have somebody love on you, that you can develop a relationship. You know, and that's where I was. I had to tell people I need to be around people that are successful, that know what they're doing, that can slow me down and say, hold it, stop, have you thought about this? You know what I mean? Because I'm probably thinking all the way through. You know what I mean? From start to finish. The record just went off track, and I just went, you know. Now, I sit down and listen. I listen carefully, just like you just said. I listen. If you can't listen, and you can't absorb, and you can't internalize it, you know what I mean? You're not going to make it. These are truths that are self-evident. Everybody in this room knows this. You know what I mean? God's in control. He's telling you, son, you have to come to me and talk to me, and you have to pray to me. You can't go to the halfway house people. You can't sit down and play cards. You can't gamble your money. You can't rely on your own understanding, because your own understanding is not good. Mine was not good. In my 50s, man, it wasn't good. So I had to let somebody take me and lead me. You know what I mean? Some of the things I thought I knew, I did not know. This thing right now, I don't know. So I have to not be ashamed to do that.
Let's hold up right there. Donald just made a point, and we do this periodically, but we haven't done it in a while, so I'm going to ask Wayne to take the sign-in sheet right now and run copies so everybody walking out of here walks out of here with everybody's number who's sitting in the room right now. And that way,
you need help,
to your point, you can call Donald or whoever, somebody in the room, when you need that help. I love that, Donald, that as you were talking about your son, I could feel you at that space. Trying to break the curse that you have now broken. And even though it has taken a time, it's still broken. Somebody say it's broken.
It's broken.
Yeah, and it's only through you and that thing being broken that he will be able to ultimately heal.
That's right.
And it's funny, and I don't know why this is, for our sons, when we've been away for a while, they hear everybody else's voice but ours. Sometimes, even when you got the word, sometimes you need somebody else to step in and provide that mentorship, provide that love. What I would be also thinking about is, you know, like say in Oak Park and or in when we use from there, putting intentionally putting so-and-so pop guy owning.
Right.
You get it?
Right.
And so now we've come into the place where we can do that.
Right, right.
We can make that happen.
Right.
You get it? We can pull him into class, whether he want to go or not. We, you know what I mean?
That's
we
right.
can put somebody on him, whether he want to be on him or not. And you know, just kind of mentor through it, that process that's lining up with what you just got through saying, but on a they walking it out on a day in, day out basis.
Right.
In Oak Park, Nairobi, Kenya would be the one. Mr. Nairobi, they call him. If you know him, yeah, connect him with Mr. Nairobi. Yeah, he mentored me for about a year and a
I'm gonna
half.
definitely mention him too, and he's gonna be coming in this room. So
That's right.
he don't know it, but he will. Be.
Yeah, come on. We almost y'all here. So we getting ready to get going home. Is anybody else? Go ahead. Trav, go ahead.
Just on, you know, I just respect you a lot. You know, your integrity and your honesty is something, you know, that speaks volumes for you as a man and your character. You know, and I relate a lot to your situation about the double-mindedness. That was me for a long time. And I think that, honestly, I've learned that as men we're full of fear. And I think that what I relate to is, for me, I was so afraid to let go and find out myself, you know what I'm saying? In the aspect of, I would come to this group, then I would want to do my own thing. I would come to this group, and I was like part-time, I was half-time, you know, and I was scared to really step into my manpower and be successful. And that's just true for me, you know. I've done a lot of successful things. I started my own business. You know, the acclimates, but I was still scared to let go of that street mentality, and it kept revolving me in this cycle. You know, so I see the willingness for you to come here, but then when you're outside of this room, life still goes on.
Right.
You came in here one time, you like, man, I don't want no BS, I don't want nothing with the halfway house. And in actuality, you being honest, you shooting dice with them.
Right.
So now you back a bit, because this is where your mind's at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I relate to it, man, to the T. I'm just being real with you. And it's like, I've seen myself go through that same struggle. And the man I am today, I mean, next week, I did 8 months in the halfway house, no problem. Got my license. And it's just about what he said is about working that plan, being patient. And you continuing to come to this group shows me and all of us that you have that willingness, but you gotta let go of that other stuff. And I think that fear for me is what kept me stuck, jumping back in that same hole.
Right.
You know?
Wow, Trav, that's good. Trav, that was so clear. You were so clear. I love that. That was helpful to everybody. Dion, what did you get out of any of this? I can't hear you, son.
I said I got a lot of what y'all said, and I want to just let y'all know I appreciate the input. And like I said, I just, you know, without y'all, I just feel like I feel love being around y'all. So I feel like no matter what type of situation I'm going through, like I used to be one type of person. I used to care what person thought about me. It's like now I'm 41 years old. I don't care no more. So for the people that think bad about me, let them think bad about me. But for the people that I know they got my best interests in heart, those are the people that I want. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it don't matter if a person older than me, younger than me. I can always take advice from anybody, as long as it's positive and as long as it's gonna be helpful for me. Because like I say, I've been to the joint 6 times and I'm still growing as a person. So, you know, like sometimes I be needing to talk to people on the phone, because people that be want to talk to me on the phone, which is a family member mostly, they negative. They all in my ear. They all in my ear talking about who just got shot in Chicago. I don't care about none of that stuff. Tell me about which one of my nieces and nephews just graduated or something. Tell me about what's going on positive in family reunions. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing negative.
But then at the same time, I just want you to catch, though, don't miss this other point. Let me just redirect. See, your image, what people think about you in the halfway house where you gambling and whatever else, they don't respect you now. You lost your respect. When you get down on your knees, you lose your respect. And if you ain't, and your money. And so there's a piece of this you have got to understand. You can't work and then street. Them two things just don't match. You got to be a biscuit or a bun, one or the other. You can't be both. I'm just telling you the truth. Y'all know it. And so we're gonna work on him on some more. But Wayne is putting together a list. Doug, you all right?
I'm good, Pops.
You sure?
It's been a rough month, but we're doing good. Coming back. I was hurt. I was sick. Got my teeth pulled. It's been sinus infection and everything, you know, but I'm coming back.
Give Doug some love. Doug Preston right there, he's a bad man. Come on, we're gonna pledge out of here, and Dion, we're gonna have to just have to do some more work. Come on in, man. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. Alvin.
Look, Tom, you can't be
You've been missing. Come on. Good, we got everybody. Come on, shut up. I will balance my family values. With my goals. I just want you to think about it. You can't balance your family values if you don't even have any goals. Here's one or two goals. I will not work and gamble my money away. That's foolishness. All right. That's a good goal. Come on, Wayne. I will exercise wisdom. I choose to eat. Read. And do. Let me just stop right there while we talk about what you put in your mouth. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of the things that you put in your mouth will contribute to your poor mental health. And so the idea, and your physical health, the idea here is that you start to take control over what you're putting in your mouth. I will strive to make all relationships win-win, no deal. Now this right here is for Anika and Eliza. So what you got to keep this principle in your mind. Win-win or no deal. It says I will strive, that means I'm working toward making all my relationships win-win or no deal. If you can't get a win at this table, that's all right. Just get up and get a win at the other table. You know, the win is just waiting for you to recognize it. I will, under every circumstance, maintain a positive attitude. I will, enjoy my life, with a sense of humor, while taking advantage of opportunities, learning from my misfortune. Listen to that now. This is just for Dion for just this minute. Dion, say this with me. I will. Just Dion. I will. Enjoy my life. And keep a sense of humor. While taking advantage of my opportunities. And learning from my misfortune. So let me just ask you, did you learn anything about gambling up your money?
Yeah, I did.
What did you learn?
I learned it don't feel good to lose your money.
And what you got in your pocket?
Zero.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a misfortune. You can't be a grown man in this world we living in right here and then not have no money in your pocket. When I was a child, I thought as a child. I acted as a child. I did as a child, but when I became a man, say amen. Amen. Or a woman, I put aside all my childish ways. Think about that. I will act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon me. Hey, Dion, would a temporary place take you back? Yes or no? Yeah. You didn't blow everything. Call her back and get yourself back online. I will on a daily basis be proactive with my goals. I will always protect my wisdom, my health, and my happiness. I will stay principle centered, maintain a positive circle of influence. Let me just say something right here. You know, we did a function at New Hope Church. That's the church that my wife and family go to. And it was a powerful function. And I guess we got that on our tape now, audio. So we'll be trying to get it to those people who participated with those who wanted it. But a couple of the men from the church, they just want to get involved. You know, they're going to ask them, they want to get involved. They don't know if they want to mentor, they want to do something. You know, but these are guys who, you know, they've got some resources, they've done okay. You know what I mean? But they just want to connect. And they say, well, can we come? Yeah, hurry up and come. When you coming? Right? And we got some guys who can use that grown mentality, that grown man thinking, who can see things sometimes different than you see them yourself. Cause you to grow. They're going to come, at least 2 or 3 of them are going to come either next week or the week after next. One of them is supposed to be a guy named Warren Limmer, who is the chair of the corrections committee at the Senate. So he's one of the guys that go to the church. So we're trying to get him here, not because he's who he is, because he's one of the guys that said he wants to come and see it. He wants to know what's happening. And we want to say, well, all right, then come on in and check it out. Right? So that's going to happen here next week or the week after next. I think it's the week after next. Listen to this. I will on a daily basis commit, learn, and do. Say commit. Say it again. Say I am committed to my own well-being. Because I'm committed, my children can be blessed. Because I'm committed, the light can get brighter. Because I'm committed, I will not spend up my last dollar. I'll tell you something right in here, that's a sin. That's a crime. Laughing, but ain't nothing funny. Hey, what's up, boy? Leave it. You got any money in your pocket, boy?
I got money in my pocket and my bank account.
I know that's right. I will act according to the POP Leadership Institute. And be productive in my community. And my private life. Help somebody clean up and let's get on out of here.